Good evening, everybody. Once again, this is the UFC 123 post-fight recap with Stanley Thunderheart. And wow, what an event tonight it has been. I mean, let me just get right to it because I have certain things I need to say about this event. Action-packed with many fights, many great fights, I would say, tonight. So let me get started. Tyson Griffin versus Nick Lentz, and the winner is Nick Lentz by split decision. Paul Kelly versus TJ O'Brien. The winner is Paul Kelly TKO. Now that was a pretty good one itself too. Both of them, were striking hard, kicking, and even doing takedowns and wrestling. But in the very end, Paul Kelly got him with a TKO and knocked him down. Actually, what he did was he had him in a crucifix position where he landed, where he had his leg. And actually his arms tied up, where he was holding one arm in the left and then holding the other arm with his legs, and then just kept on dropping elbow to the side and then punches, and he wasn't defending himself intelligently. So the referee had no choice but to stop the fight and reward TKO to Paul Kelly. So congratulations on Paul Kelly. And then Edson Baboza versus Lullo, and the winner is Edson Baboza TKO. This was a TKO victory that got to a point where Edson was kicking Lullo so hard that he actually injured his leg during the match. I mean, it got to a point where Mike couldn't even stand up. He gave him such a really hard leg kicks to the point where he was limping. And so in the third round, the fact that Lullo could not get up fast enough, the referee decided to say, okay, that's enough, and rewarded Edson Baboza TKO. So congratulations. And Lullo, get well soon with your leg. So we would like to see you get back into the ring pretty soon. So Karo Paisyan versus Dennis Hallman, and the winner is Dennis Hallman. I mean, it was just one of those matches that, of course they started swinging each other and throwing good combinations and so forth. But Dennis Hallman just happened to just have one good hit on Paisyan. Karo went down, and Dennis just started pounding on him, and the referee stopped the fight and rewarded him TKO. And this event was Simpson versus Mark Munoz, and the winner is Mark Munoz, unanimous decision. Now this was an action-packed fight. I mean, wow. I mean, these two they were throwing punches, kicks, leg kicks, elbows, throwing each other to the ground. Going in each other's fences, grounding and pounding, submission attempts. I mean, this really had a making of a main event fight. I mean, a great main event fight that had all the ingredients with it. I mean, aggression, technique, heart. Oh man, I mean, this was an awesome fight. This was actually the best fight I actually saw tonight. Was that? And so, congratulations, Mark Munoz, on this unanimous victory. I mean, yeah, sure, he ended up having a cut on his head, but the cut on his head didn't really do him anything. If anything, it kept him going to a point where he, had a unanimous decision. So congratulations, Mark Munoz. And of course, the next event is Matt Brown versus Brian Foster, and the winner is Brian Foster submission via guillotine choke. These two definitely did some great strikings. They even went to the ground and reversed it on each other. But of course, Matt Brown was getting pounded earlier in the first round, and then by the second round, it got to a point where, first of all, Brian Foster was attempting more submission on him and tired him out. So the bottom line was, Matt Brown got gassed out when Brian Foster, first of all, he had him in a victimized position, but then and then of course Matt Brown turned it around. Actually, Brian Foster had Matt Brown in a victimized position, but Matt Brown turned around. But of course, Brian Foster was well prepared, slapped on that guillotine choke. Matt Brown just got gassed out and tapped out. So congratulations, Brian Foster, on your victory. And George Sotiropoulos, how did I say this? George Sotiropoulos versus Joe Lauzon. And the winner is George Sotiropoulos by submission with a Kimura. That was a pretty good fight in and of itself too. and these two went at it with tooth and nail, and they went to the ground. Joe Lauzon attempted submissions, but in the very end, George just had him, dominated him, and basically had him in a great Kimura, and had no choice but to tap out. And the next event is Phil Davis versus Tim Boetsch, and then the winner is Phil Davis submission with a Kimura. Now that was a very, very great fight, and I actually won submission of the night. So congratulations, Phil Davis, on your victory. He just simply, of course, now he didn't really have the striking down with Tim Boetsch. Tim Boetsch had better striking, but at the same time, when of course Phil Davis took him down, that's when he really had the advantage. I mean, he grounded and pounded him, and attempted submissions in so many ways, but finally he was able to really, 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 really get that Kimura in to such a degree that you really couldn't see it on camera. But he had him so well, obviously, because Tim Boetsch had to have felt that pain, and had to tap out. So, congratulations, Phil Davis. And Gerald Harris versus Maiquel Falcao. And of course, the winner is Maiquel Falcao, unanimous decision. That was a great match. Maiquel Falcao definitely dominated this fight, with definitely choke with submission attempts through with rear naked chokes. And I honestly thought that he actually had a submission in the first round, but it turned out that the bell rang from the first round, and it went the distance. So of course he won via unanimous decision. So congratulations, Maiquel Falcao. And Matt Hughes, oh man, co-main event of the night. Matt Hughes versus BJ Penn 3. Now, you all know BJ Penn, Matt Hughes, the first time BJ Penn won via submission and took his welterweight title away from him. Now, the second, in the rematch, Matt Hughes versus BJ Penn 2, Matt Hughes was defending the welterweight title against BJ Penn, and of course he beat BJ Penn, so Matt Hughes was victorious then. Now, this is, of course, none of them were champions, and this is part 3. And part 3, it only lasted 21 seconds. I mean, when BJ Penn came, he looked like he really, was out to take care of some business, and he did. He gave him a good strikes and hit him hard. Matt Hughes just went down, and BJ Penn hit him in 21 seconds. I mean, Matt Hughes got served in 21 seconds. Wow. So congratulations, BJ Penn. And as far as Matt Hughes go, he's actually had some great wins before until now, and BJ Penn had some couple of great losses until now. So wow, well, how the tables have turned. I don't know what's going to go on with Matt Hughes' career, but we shall see if he's going to hang on there a little longer in the UFC. And BJ Penn, it looks like he's going back. He's back, and wow. Yeah, he's definitely going to be taken more seriously now at this point. And in the main event, Quinton Rampage Jackson versus Lyoto Dragon Machida, and the winner is Quinton Rampage Jackson split decision. Now, of course, congratulations, Quinton Jackson, on your victory. He went out there and he fought his best and so forth. At the same time, though, this is one of those times where I would agree with Dana White, where he always tells his fighters never leave the decision in the hands of the judges, because let me put it to you like this. I don't necessarily agree with the decision. I thought that the decision should have gone to Lyoto Machida instead. And the reason why I said that is because Lyoto Machida did more. Yeah, sure, they didn't really do much in the first round. They did, of course, they started doing they started doing kicks, but they didn't like throw hands or anything. They didn't do a lot of things in the fight. But when the action did get started, when it was either clinching time or swinging time, I really feel Lyoto did more in all these rounds, and even to a point where he dominated Quinton Jackson. He had him under control or so forth. So I mean, like I said, Quinton Jackson, he's gonna take the victory. At the same time, it's like he knew very well that he lost the fight. I saw in his eyes, and I see right through him that he knew damn well that he did not win the fight. He was just like, oh my God, oh thank God. Oh, thank God, I got a victory. I'll take the victory. I'll take the victory just so I can move on to the next title. I don't want to fight with this guy as best as possible anytime soon. This guy is too good. He's too tough. And like I said, Lyoto Machida, I really feel he got robbed tonight. But now we'll see where his career goes from here on out. I think it's going to get I think it's going to get even better than this. And like I said, congratulations, Quinton Jackson. You are now in line for a shot at the title, I believe. And and I do want to see him regain that belt. At the same time, he knows very well that he didn't win the fight, but he's going to take it, and so why not? And despite what Quinton Jackson's fans may want to believe, sure, I mean, yeah, they are happy about it, but of course, being biased as they are because Quinton Jackson's their hero, of course they're going to say, yeah, he won it, but really, and the real truth is, I saw it, and they know that, he didn't necessarily won, but like I say, he only won because of a bad decision, not because he was better. That's just how I see it, and that's the way I'm sticking to it. Well, in any event, this is Standing Bear Thunderheart. This event has been pretty good, and I can't wait for the next few more events. So, anyways, and by the way, I just want to also let everyone know that since Thanksgiving is coming, to have a happy and safe Thanksgiving Day the next few days. So be careful, guys, and take care of yourselves. Healing, it is all that is.